Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of Unpopular Review, AEW NXT Review. I am sometime Bad Guy Jack. Right about now, I'm Bad Guy Champ. And EC is not a fan of it, but that's just too damn bad. I actually have a problem with that intro, too, because I should be the last. I should get top billing, but I'll save it for another time. But I have co hosts, I have friends, and we're here to talk wrestling. One of my partners of tonight is Evil Dose, the Malachi. What's going on, my
Looking at
friend?
my fingers, looking at my fingers.
There you-
And it's true. Congratulations on your win, champ. Well deserved, well
Thank you.
earned.
Thank you, manager. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for making me realize that I am the face of UPR. You are the Bobby Heenan too. What you say? I'm Mr. Perfect, so this all works out perfectly.
You're
See
the
what I
champ.
did
You can
there?
be whoever you want.
There we go. That's why I'm the champion. Thank you, champ. And our other partner, she's sometimes green scene, but she is the sheriff. But we have to. We've been talking. We're gonna have to get her a badge so that it is clear that you are, in fact, the sheriff.
One of these times you guys see me, I will have the badge, I promise. And I'm no bad guy champ, but I am a sheriff. Maybe that counts for something.
It do count because you're on the winning show.
Yeah.
And we have a guest, our returning host. He's the way he's working the camera, but he have a better introduction better than I do. So, Steaming Willie Beeman.
Man, yo, man, what's poppin', man? Steaming motherfucker
Popcorn.
Willie Beeman is back in effect. I see you the champ, and that's only because, I've been away, on a brief hiatus, but I'm back and I'm better than ever, man. Want
I
to
believe
say
it.
shout out to Sheriff, you was on the last show I was on, so I said you filled in pretty great for me. I've been watching some of the old shows on
Appreciate
YouTube, so I want to say thank you for that. The original member of the three-man band show, the best three-man group ever in UPR history. Now
Do we start doing like this, like the 3-man band? We do like no? Okay, cool.
Weren't
we
they
throwing up
driving?
trays, never up fours. You know what I'm saying? Just want to tell all you guys, man, I'm proud of y'all, man, for what y'all been doing in my absence. Real talk. Bad guy, you only the champ because I couldn't participate. I was injured, man. Just want you to know that. You still one of the one of the handsomest guys on the group. You know what I mean? And then I got my man Evil Dose, man, the evil matador there. And yeah, sure, you locking shit up on this wrestling shit. Make sure you know that, man. But yeah, we talking NXT and AEW, man. Which I really gotta say, both shows was good tonight, man. Both shows was good tonight. If I could say so myself, surprisingly, we had the She-Hulk reveal preview on NXT tonight, but
I can't wait to talk about that. So
well,
why don't you? Usually, my co-hosts on the other side they cover AEW. Did you watch an NXT so we can actually we discuss NXT?
Yeah, I watched majority of NXT. The only thing I caught on AEW tonight was the Young Bucks match, and
Well, tell you
I
what.
think that was it.
Why don't we start off with AEW? So, Evil Dose, why don't you start off on what happened on AEW, the opening?
I would be happy to. So, AEW opens from Daly's Place in Jacksonville. Still feeling a little bit cold in old sunny Jacksonville. So we open up with Adam Page and Big Money Matt Hardy. The Kingmaker says on the screen there. They're facing the Hybrid 2 and Helico around midway through the match is referred to again as the Mexican submission specialist. So they're still making a big deal about that, even though their team is busy jumping all around. Excalibur says that they keep losing matches because Jack Evans just won't shut his mouth. So apparently that's what's been causing them to have like a 0-30 record. Okay, interesting enough. Anyway, Page and Hardy win. Page lands a double clothesline on these two jabronis, and then Hardy does the twist of fate for the win. The match itself, while being a little bit on the long side, was not the point of the segment. The segment was that Matt Hardy had the mic, and he's like, hey, you are about to make so much money, and I'm only going to take 30%. And Paige is like, interrupts him. Oh, yes, I'm going to make a lot of money. And let me tell you why. Because some good friends of mine told me to always keep a spare bunch of rolled paper around in your pocket. So an homage to Brody Lee and the Dark Order. So that was pretty good. He said now the Jaguars are going to send out their legal counsel, who was the Jaguars mascot, who I don't even know the name of it. It was sort of like, I don't know, doesn't matter. I don't know the name of it. And the Jaguars mascot is the legal team. And Paige goes, that's quite a legal team, which was pretty funny. Anyway, read the contract, and it really wasn't anything what I thought it said. I thought he did the switcheroo, and he was going to manage Matt Hardy and take 30% of Matt Hardy's earnings, or he was going to be the new manager of Private Party or something like that. But no, the contract provided for a Paige versus Hardy at Revolution one-on-one match. And if Hardy loses, Paige gets 100% of his earnings for the first quarter of 2021, which is almost going to be up by the time Revolution comes by. So this was a lot of details and oddly specific. And the timing was bad. Like maybe the second quarter might have made sense. So I don't know. Whatever it was, it shouldn't have really mattered. It should have been the other one gets to manage the other. But anyway, so Matt Hardy says, wait, you're a man of honor. So reciprocate. Let's have the same terms. And Paige says yes, and they shake hands. And somehow Matt Hardy knew this was going to happen because it was Isaiah Cassidy hiding in the Jacksonville Jaguars mascot costume. He attacked Adam Page, and Matt Hardy, quick on his feet with his brain anyway, says, hey, TH2, you guys want to make some money? Attack him, knock him out. So they start to attack him as well. And then there's a rescue by the whole Dark Order being led by -1, who brings them all in. They clear house, and Adam Page, he's smiling at the Dark Order, but still he exits solo without them. But so this flirtation continues, and I believe this is now month 14 with a bit of a hiatus in the middle there of the Dark Order trying to recruit Adam Page. So swell on that. The comedy segments I thought worked okay. The match was okay. I thought that knowing that Isaiah Cassidy in the costume was dopey, didn't fit in with any of it. Makes no sense.
Well, thank you.
I also noticed that Mark Quinn wasn't there tonight and isn't advertised in the match next week, which leads me to believe that there's something wrong with Mark Quinn. I'm not really sure. I haven't heard anything, but listen, that was the first match, and I don't know. We can all comment on it or
sure.
NXT if you like.
Take over, Sheriff.
You said it was okay. I thought this was fine. It was pretty enjoyable. I like the match. I like the new thing that they're doing with Matt. I know you said he's kind of like Don Callis, which is true. Difference being Matt can wrestle and get in the ring, so I think they can flesh out that gimmick more. The whole Jacksonville mascot thing, that was an elaborate cheap pop, but that was cool. It was kind of hokey that it was Isaiah Cassidy under it, but I forgave that just because I enjoyed the segment so much. Also, I know I said before I really don't ever want to see Hangman with the Dark Order, but I do like that they kind of steered the story in the way that even though Hangman turned them down, right, they are there for him as friends, or they're showing that they actually care about him. I think this might lead to a face turn for the faction, if that makes sense, especially if Hangman does join them and becomes their leader. They'd essentially be baby faces. And that's if Brody Lee's death didn't do that already for them, because who's really going to boo them now? But I think I kind of like that angle of the story better.
If you followed your enemies like I do, you would see that Evil Uno tweeted today, Evil Uno would become a better person, which of course to that I responded, well, obviously you've already failed at being evil, so there's only one route open to you, and those in the know that your goodness is only because there's no other options available to you. Commitment to evil is yet another reason evil does shall prevail.
Did he actually tweet that?
Yes.
That's a good callback then.
Thank
you. That plays into what I was saying,
Yeah. Evil Dose has been a little bit quiet on Twitter with the exception of what games he's going to play, so there hasn't been much opportunity to level attacks, and also a lot of them were about Brody Lee, and even Evil Dose realizes that the long game, I have to win some hearts and minds. I mean, he has to win, or she has to win some hearts and minds. So you know, you couldn't go that low. It's, you know, so
Yeah.
I had to pick my spots for the Master carefully over the past 2 or 3 months. They've been few and far between. I did not mark where commercials came in, but I believe there was not a commercial break, and it went straight to Alex Marvez interviewing PNP, who were now introduced as Santana and Ortiz, much better, and with the Inner Circle. And basically, Santana and Ortiz say that the problem all along with them not having a title match in over a year has been fear. Everybody's afraid of them. And that's the encumbrance, and now they're going to overcome it. And then, instead of interviewing them, the mic goes to MJF, who calls out Sammy Guevara. You know, you think I'm going to record you when I'm on a camera? That's just dumb. What's wrong with you? Now, you still haven't been a man and apologized to me. Jericho's like, shut up. Just shut up. Everyone shut up. It's like, we saw what you did, MJF. You've been goading him for weeks, and this is partly your fault. But most of the fault is Sammy Guevara. I set this up. I let this happen. I'm not dumb. I let it happen so that you would both be made stronger. But only one of you was made stronger, and that's you, MJF. Sammy, you've made bad decision after bad decision. And when you quit the Inner Circle, you quit on Chris Jericho. And when you quit on Chris Jericho, that means you're dead to me. So that was that. Okay. I liked Tamara, liked everything.
We thought that Dark Order was the cult, but I guess Inner Circle is really the cult. If you leave, you're dead to them.
I know, right?
Well, in a cult, you just die when you leave. But
well, technically, you are dead to them because you're dead, right?
You're just dead. Yeah,
you're just dead. Yeah.
I think maybe we should reverse. We should do a 3-point turn out of this cul-de-sac. But I don't know. I have to be honest with you. I appreciate that Tamara enjoyed parts of the show up until this point, but I really thought that this was all like someone doing a spoof of a wrestling show on a wrestling show.
I thought this was especially when we get into the next match. I thought they started very strong because I mean I don't hate the it's hokey, but it's hokey in a way where it's like it's supposed to be maybe not the inner circle segment, but the match with Matt Hardy and Hangman in Dark Order, that's supposed to be comedic and lighthearted. Like I think if you open your mind to that, it's not horrible. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. The match was supposed to be comedic. Listen, I liked how Paige did the switcheroo. Not crazy about the stipulation. Again, I thought it was very overly specific, and when it's that specific, it should at least make sense chronologically, because by the time they have Revolution, he'll have already been paid for 10 out of the 12 weeks in quarter one. So it makes no sense. I mean, but the whole Isaiah Cassidy being under the Jacksonville Jaguars thing ruined it for me, because that meant that Matt Hardy knew it all along, which if he did and said, I saw the film and I knew it all along, that would make sense, because that would also explain why he knew the counter stipulation right away. So they could have salvaged it with that thought for me, but they didn't. And they're not the only promotion in the world that does that. But I mean, you know, what I heard you say is that you forgave it because you enjoyed it. And listen, that's fine, but that's sort of chronically what I see with AEW fans. They forgive everything because they enjoy it. And I don't really believe
not everything, because if it ruins it, then you don't enjoy it. But I felt like Isaiah Cassidy being the mascot didn't really ruin the segment for me.
Well, it did for me, but I don't really think that AEW fans really love it all. I think what they love is the potential and the promise that can be AEW, and I think the AEW delivers on just enough of it to keep you going. It's sort of like that. You've got like a little carrot on a fishing pole, and it's close enough. You can get a little nibble on it.
That's wrestling, because in reality, I would think that because I mean we know what WWE is, we know what it was, and we know what it could be. And I think that carrot on the stick is what keeps wrestling fans around in general, because even when WWE is bad, you know it could be good, so you keep watching. So when AEW is bad, you know it could be good, so you keep watching. And I think that's true with any show. Like, I'm a Knicks fan. I know we're bad, but we could be good.
It's okay. I'm a Mets fan, so like I know that reference where like you're a fan of a team and you know how bad they are, but you just stick with them.
Like it could be good, so let me just stick around. You know what I mean?
AEW have a
I
lot
know
of potential.
exactly what you mean. I use almost an identical analogy when I talk to people, and people say, "Why do you still watch WWE?" Well, what if I was a Jets fan for 45 years? I'm not going to quit on the Jets just because they stink. I'm a Jets fan, and just because the Jets stink doesn't mean I'm going to quit on the NFL and go wholehearted into the CFL and arena football. I may, I'm not going to adopt North Boise State. I may check those things out, but I'm still going to hope that the NFL gets better and that my team gets better. So I understand what you're saying. I'm just a little bit harder on it than you are because I think it's actually underperformed on the bell curve. The beginning I thought was a disaster. Then I thought they were fantastic.
Well, technically they overperformed because you thought they'd go out of business.
Well, I think from January 1st of 2020 till around August of 2020, they were amazing. Then I thought they mostly stunk again. I will give them credit for this Impact and Kenta thing. I don't think it's really delivered, but it's still interesting, and that counts for something. And there's always that interest factor where what could happen next. I don't know what will happen, but that's part of it too. Anyway, I think at this point we were definitely at a commercial break, and so we probably should go to the NXT segment.
Sure, I could do a quick recap on NXT in the opening segment before we go into a commercial break. Starts off with a recap for NXT Vengeance Day, showcasing all the stuff that has happened. Beth, I put Stu. I forgot his actual work name, but I put Stu.
Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett. I don't know why I just put Stu.
I got you, baby.
That's my manager. And Vic. They're getting ready to introduce the winners for the Dusty Classic, but Kyle O'Reilly comes out. So that cuts that segment off, and he wants answers. He wants to know why Adam did what he did. He's even sitting there saying, I know teams were supposed to be different. We're supposed to be different from every other faction. He wants answers. He says, I still love, not he said I love you, but you're still my brother. And he said, I just want answers. And I might punch you in the face right after. Because Cal's upset. He's angry. He wants to know the answers. He wants to understand why he did what he did to break up the Undisputed Era. Roderick Strong comes out, and Cal is not even trying to hear anything Roderick's trying to say. He's like, look, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what Adam had to say. And to a point where eventually he says, I don't know if I can even trust you because I don't know who I can trust. After what happened on Sunday, I don't know who I can trust. Finn Balor comes out, and Cal is getting even more upset. He's getting more upset, and he says, no, he even says, Adam. And Finn says, hey, look, you're gonna have to get in the back of the line because I want answers. I want a shot at Adam. So these guys are going back and forth arguing. So then you have Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch. They come out and they attack all three men. They beat them up, which obviously leads to a 6-man tag later. But these guys get their licks in. It goes into, I just want to get this segment before we go into a commercial break. William Regal, there was supposed to be a match this week between Santos Escobar and Karrion Kross, but that didn't happen. He didn't show up. He said, nah, not this week, not today. So William Regal said, okay, cool. So I'll tell you what, this match is going to happen next week. If it don't happen next week, then you're going to be stripped of the title and you're going to be suspended. Now, they didn't say for how long, but he'll be suspended, which leads into a really intriguing match. But before we go any further with NXT and AEW, it's the 20-minute mark. That's where we hit our commercial breaks. You know the deal. So, boom, here is a commercial.
So profound.
Please familiarize and observe the rules while in Fun World. No running. No jumping. No yelling. That means you enjoy your stay.
We don't die, we multiply!
Hey, and we are back. So we got a good evening, Sheriff. We got saying hello, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, Mr. Riggs. How about yourself?
Have any of you taken one of those DNA tests to tell who you are?
100% evil.
I looked in the mirror. Does that
He
count as
said that.
a
There you go. Looked in the mirror and one says he's 100% evil. I forgot to mention my opening statement this week. I'll
Direct
be getting.
descendant of Lucifer.
There we I haven't shown on public. So Mike Riz is saying he's going to be having a belt, which is dope.
Oh,
And I
wow.
think he said the winged eagle too. So that's
No,
cool.
no, no. He
Winged
said
eagle is
the
a classic, yeah.
Weegind eagle.
Oh, there you go. Well,
Yeah,
thank you for
the
correcting.
the Weegind
I
eagle.
know.
That's a good one. Michael Horan's here. Whoa.
There you go. So, those are my two reviews so far of NXT. So why don't you guys take over with AEW? Which he says, by the way, he watched AEW.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
The show's for you.
I love it.
You're in the right place.
There you go.
Small thing.
This is fabulous. Listen, all right. Listen, I just want to mention that we came in. I'm not sure if it was before the commercial or after the commercial, but they inform us that the U.S. side women's semifinals on the tournament and the Japanese-based side women's semifinal tournaments will both be airing on AEW's YouTube channel this Monday at 7 p.m.
Oh,
Last week, or a couple, 3 days ago, they showed the first 4 Japanese-based matches. I have to be honest, I was not impressed by the show one bit. I wasn't impressed by the matches. The only thing that you really need to know is that Aja Kong won, Emi Sakura won, who was the Freddie Mercury. The woman that was posted all over the internet a million times because everyone thinks she's cute, Maki Ito, lost. So she's not coming here. So thirst monsters stay thirsty, I guess. She lost to some, I guess, powerhouse woman. Anyway, so
Powerhouse woman.
That was her gimmick. Was a powerhouse. I think her name was Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and there was another match, but you'll see who they are next week on Monday. So that led us to the Serena Deeb returning Riho match.
Ooh.
Riho still has the same arcade music, which gave me the same exact headache. It's been 11 months since Riho was here. It was 48 weeks since she's had her last AEW match. Tony at some point refers to them both as girls. So, Tony, get yourself into the 21st century. You don't need to be a 2021, but, 2001 would be okay. So story here is that Serena Deeb has an injured left knee. She's got the whole Stone Cold Steve Austin brace. I don't know if that's a real injury or what. Editorial note: Serena Deeb is a much better wrestler than Riho is. She just has it all. A couple good matches. Riho did a 619 to a top rope double stomp on Deeb. She got the 2 count. Deeb was working the leg. She did a power bomb into the stretch muffler. It was reversed by Riho. There were a couple of quick near falls. Riho did a double top rope stomp again only for a 2 count. They traded pinning predicaments, which was actually pretty good mat wrestling. And Riho came up with the win. This match was 16 minutes long, which was about 6 minutes too long. But Riho won in her debut, and the NWA champion loses, but didn't lose her title. Tamara, I know you are waiting to correct all of my errors and omissions.
I like Riho. I was happy.
I can't imagine why.
Didn't like the subtle shade there. Serena Deeb is a better wrestler than Riho, but Serena Deeb's a better wrestler than a lot of people. And also Serena Deeb can have a good match with almost anyone, and she's very much a veteran. So I enjoyed the match. Maybe it was a little too long. Not 6 minutes long. Maybe 4 minutes longer. Maybe a 12-minute match is fair, especially for an eliminator match for the title, the women's title. So I liked the match. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I'd give it like a B+. It could have been an A if it didn't go as long, like Jeff said.
Okay. Next segment, we go to see Shaq and Jade in a training segment that we don't want to miss. As it turns out, it's probably something you could have missed. Basically, Shaq and Jade were in a the gym. It looked like it was a basketball gym at like a YMCA or something like that, where you could see sort of the weight equipment on the second floor and windows, and they were in the basketball court. And it was basically just Jade doing basketball drills and Shaq, either coaching her or throwing her the ball. He didn't do much of anything. Jade did all the work, and really nothing happened. I mean, that's all I can really say.
It's exactly what Jeff said. I mean, Jade looked like a complete beast in a good way. I mean, like she's crazy.
She do. No, she do.
No, she's in crazy shape. And somebody was saying that the She-Hulk was on NXT. I don't know who the She-Hulk refers to in NXT, but Jade Gargill would be a very convincing She-Hulk as far as I'm concerned. Or she could be Power Girl in the Superman universe. Don't tell me Power Girl's white. They're from Krypton. Melanin doesn't need to work the same way there. And who says Superman can't be black? That's just stupid. It's a character. Yeah. So Jade Cargill gets my vote for Power Girl on that one.
You heard my manager.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And you could be white in a TV show. I mean, what's the difference? I don't know what you want to be, but anyway. Speaking of white, Orange Cassidy is out next.
That was such a beautiful cutaway.
Yeah, thank you. Coming with Chuck Taylor in a ridiculous pink shirt, looking like a big lug. They're facing Dr. Luther and Chaos Project. So this is where I was predicting some AEW nonsense that did not happen. What I was predicting was that Serpentico would actually be Kip Sabian, that would lead to a Miro ambush, which actually I think would have been predictable, but fitting with what's going on. That didn't happen. It was Serpentico. Chuck Taylor, gave him like a package pile driver or the Death Valley driver or something. Got dispatched with him. Orange Cassidy did the orange punch on Luther. So clean win, relatively short, relatively painless. It was just to show that Orange Cassidy is back and he means business. I will say it again. Chaos Project has no business being on primetime network television ever. But maybe there's a staffing problem.
This was very much a squash match. So
definitely a squash match. There were a lot of people missing though tonight, and it might have been because of there was weather. Tully wasn't there. They say he was stuck in San Antonio. 2 members of Team Taz weren't there. Apparently the weather was keeping them out from. They said the South, but they're in Orlando, so I'm not sure I'm understanding that. Anyway, there may have been an ability to get certain bodies. Who knows? But that was that. But like Tamara said, it was a squash, and it was to establish Orange Cassidy, I guess, as a legit singles competitor. So okay for what it was, but the one time I was expecting and would have appreciated sort of an AEW sort of swerve, because Kip Sabian sort of slight like Serpentico is, and I think that might have been a good opportunity for that. But okay, it didn't happen. At this point, I believe there was no commercial, and we got the FTW music. Team Taz comes out.
Here we go.
Yeah, Team Taz comes out. It's only Taz, Cage, and Hook. It took them forever to get to the ring. And Taz is going, hey, Taz, alls I hear all week is how you're going to call us out. What you going to do? You're going to call us out? What happened? You see that we're down 2 men. The snow kept our guys away. Where are you? Where are you going to be, Sting? What you going to do about it? Well, the music hits, the snow hits, and out comes Sting to the ring. Okay, Sting, I'm going to keep talking instead of doing anything. I'm going to talk. And the biggest mistake you ever made was coming into the ring. I can't believe you came into the ring. And you know what? You need that bat. You can't get rid of that bat. So basically, he uses Bugs Bunny logic, and Sting falls for it. The 61-year-old, 40-year veteran of professional wrestling throws the bat aside, takes his jacket off, and he cold cocks Cage. Taz scurries his fat ass out of the ring. Hook goes to get the bat, but instead of hitting Sting with it, he tries to choke him with it. Sting recovers from that. But Cage basically kicks him in the gut and then hits a beautiful powerbomb on Sting. Sting is laid out. All of a sudden, Taz is back in the ring, and they continue to beat down Sting mercilessly. No, they stop and pose and walk away while he's gone. So Taz, even though you almost got it right and somehow you tricked him with your Bugs Bunny logic, you still suck. You still managed to suck. How could you mess that up? Taz!
Hashtag Taz.
Hashtag Fire Taz.
Just,
Posing.
I love when he says that because I just get hyped. Like,
I mean, you're never. I know you said he's 60. You're never too old for ego.
Okay. I'll just remind you that about 23 years ago, he kept that bat by his side when he was knocking out the NWO.
He was. No, that's a fact. He was knocking everyone. Like, it was ridiculous. He was knocking down 20 men, but it was one man knocking down 20 men with that bat.
I mean, some of us get stupider in our old age. I mean, Exhibit A right here. But
what are you talking about, yo?
This segment actually was kind of bad, and it just. I hope the hashtag Fire Taz thing doesn't get him fired.
Yeah, because I'm pointing that right at you.
That's right.
I'm like, that wasn't a part of it. That was over here.
He can keep his job on commentary. I'm very public with that. But as a manager, he's just a disaster. Oh, and by the way, they made mention that they got fined again for what they did to Darby. So they're fined again.
And can I say that powerbomb was brutal?
Powerbomb was beautiful.
Yeah.
So wait, Sting actually took a bump in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he took
that's
bump is understatement. He ate the ring.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was well executed. It was well taken. Now, he sold it well. No issues with that.
Hey, well, there you go. I'm just surprised. Our main man Derek is in here. It's amazing.
It's true, Derek. But the thing is that they get paid by being on TV, so they try to get everyone on there.
I remember when the thing was they didn't really have any promos. It was all match, which was true. And I feel like it depends who you are. Certain people get good character development. Like I think Britt Baker does. I think Kenny Omega does. And then other people, it's like, what was the point of that segment? Like we just wasted time.
Yeah, there is some of that, but I agree. The show used to have no promos and vignettes, and I do like the mix of it to further stories. I mean, frankly, Dark, which is sometimes 3 hours long, is there to develop younger wrestlers. I don't know when show number 2 is going to go on TNT. I feel like they were paid for it since last March, so I don't know.
Is that confirmed?
That they were paid for 2 shows? Yes. Why it's not happening? I have no idea. Nobody's talking.
Well, I have an idea. It's probably because of COVID.
Well, I mean, that would make sense, except what's the difference? If they're taping 3 hours of Dark, why couldn't they make an hour and a half of it show number 2 and just leave Dark at an hour and a half? Because or put in more promos and vignettes in both shows and make them both 2 hours.
We don't know that second show is necessarily going to be a wrestling show.
Really?
Well, we don't know that, but I mean, that is the assumption that everybody has.
Yeah.
I don't know why TNT would pay for a primetime slot for a wrestling show where there's not wrestling, but maybe you're right. Maybe it's like an extended kind of bum talk show, variety show. Maybe Snoop Dogg is going to teach people how to go off the top rope while judging contestants and singing contests.
The Go Small show.
Yeah.
The Go Small show. The sister show.
Go even smaller show. Featuring the Darker Order of Tartarus. Before the commercial, we do go to Eddie Kingston with Butcher, Bunny, and Blade, and it's a promo. Basically, he asked for this match. He wants it because he has 3 demons. Fire Taz, wow. Basically, Archer's been bothering him since the Casino Battle Royal. He never wanted Phoenix. He wanted his brother, but then his brother turned him against him. And Mox is his biggest demon. He can't drink him away. He can't take pills away. He can't sleep him away, so he's got to beat him up. End of the promo. That was that. Cut to commercial. And now it's time to go to NXT. See, I even talk like you, bad guy champ. NXT.
NXT. There you go.
NXT.
There we go.
Oh, wait, Sheriff, did I miss anything?
No. I don't see that. Yeah.
Oh, this is actually I don't think we need it, but just for everyone else who might not know this, yeah, don't do that. It's not good for you. We'll leave it at that. So we have The Way come out, the female tag team of them, Candice LeRae and Indie Wrestling, and they go against Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Still missing is Austin Theory, who they can't find. It's this it was a match. Like the match was good, but it was really more about the segment for where's Austin Theory. Like Johnny Gargano's coming out. All three of them are coming out. The way is coming out. They have missing person paper, so they're handing it out to the crowd, everybody. A funny thing, a funny thing. Johnny Gargano said because he has such corny humor, but something funny he said was, if you see Austin, like if you say Austin, he responds to Austin. Like I just thought that was humorous. Like he just sounded like an idiot. Like he just, but
Like it's a dog.
yeah, right. He responds to Austin. It just that made me. I really chuckled. I wanted to make sure I made that a note because I thought that was funny. Because the commentary, Johnny Gargano is really he's up my alley with humor. It's very corny, so it's up my alley. There's a spot where this Wade Barrett keeps going like, yeah. Austin, he's the heart and soul of NXT. To which Johnny Gargano said, no, like I'm the heart and soul. He's the bicep. Candice LeRae is the brain, and Indy is everything else, every other body part apparently. So I really enjoyed Johnny Gargano's stuff. It was a really good match, competitive. Ember Moon and Blackheart, they had that they were in the finals on Sunday, so they really need to make up for that loss. They pretty just because there was a lot of fast paced action, I couldn't keep up with everything. So the tag team of Blackheart and Moon, they get the win. They beat the way when so
Who's the one with the green hair again?
who?
The one with the green hair?
Blackheart.
What's the first name?
Shotzi.
Thank you. He wanted me to say so bad, but Shotzi.
Nice. That's the best you ever did.
Thank you. Oh, that's all. You just want me to get better. That's why. You want me to not hide from the challenge and take it
I'm
on
like
head
Jericho.
first.
I want you to get better, not
There you
make bad
go.
choices.
See, I like Evil Dose. You know why? Because you have
Or I'm like
washboard abs.
Jericho and I'm drunk. I don't know. One or the other.
But they get the win. In the middle of the match, a white van shows up, which is never good. If you see a white van
white
run
van?
from it, a white
Did he
van.
offer some candy?
It was a white van. Stay away from that, ladies and gentlemen. And Johnny Gargano goes out there. He goes out there because he recognized that white van, which sounds bad when you say it out loud, but he recognized that white van.
From
So he
school.
went out there to he went out there to see what was going on. There was a spot I missed, but all I know is when I came back, because I stepped away for a minute, that I saw that they found Austin Theory, so he must have been in the van. And when he came out, for whatever reason, Austin Theory is handcuffed and in his underwears, which is I just did not know what was going on. I think if I was watching this and a friend of mine's came in and saw me watching this, they might go, "What are you doing with your life?" So it was for comical purpose. Dexter Lumis is next in line for the NXT North American Championship. Like I said, this match was more about the segment and progression of the storyline of what's next for Johnny Gargano or Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis. So I thought it was a pretty cool segment. I thought it was funny. Pat McAfee has actual a promo here for a bit, telling everyone that I told you all along he's in an airplane in shorts. Lucky bastard, because here we are in New York, or I'm in New York, and it's gonna snow tomorrow. No one wants to hear my bad news, but
Well, so the entire country is under ice. So I mean,
It's very cold here.
yeah, it's terrible. But he's in shorts in the plane, and he's telling everyone, "I've been telling you guys all along, Adam Cole is a jerk. He's no good. I've been telling you that." And he calls everyone a loser for not listening to him. Sitting there saying, "Oh, by the way, I've got to get ready to go on vacation, so you losers have a good day." He called people either losers or bums.
I'm a
So,
loser because I thought we'd never see him again.
huh?
I'm a loser because I thought we'd never see him again on WWE television.
And I'm glad that he came back because he's a great character. And I thought in the ring work he wasn't embarrassing. Really athletic. He knew how to make the moves look good. So I'm kind of, I don't know what that means for him, like coming back wise, but they had him for that little segment.
Oh my God. put him with Eli Drake. Ooh, I'm liking that.
Eli Drake. Let me
No,
ask
sorry.
you. I mean, there was a.
L.A. Knight.
What do you think about his work before we go into a commercial? But I'm just curious because, like, I'm not hyped about it. I haven't really. I've seen some of his in-ring work in Impact, so I haven't seen anything in a long time. So I just don't have a big connection with. But what do you think of his stuff?
I'm a big Eli Drake fan. I love his personality. People call him Discount Rock, Discount Austin, Discount Ric Flair. Fine, you want to be a discount of three guys? Pick there's Mount Rushmore right there. So fine. He's got a good look. He's got a cocky attitude. He can be both face and heel. Got a good build. He's not a great wrestler. He's a good wrestler. He's not he's not Daniel Bryan in there, but he's also he's not Jinder Mahal either. He's he's like your typical NWA competent James Storm, Nick Aldis type of wrestler. He can do the moves. He can get the job done. A lot like EC3. Listen, a lot of the guys from when TNA became TNA/Impact, the guys of sort of they were 220 and bigger. They worked very similar to a WWE style. He's a WWE style wrestler, but he's got the cocky attitude, very similar to Pat McAfee in that regard.
No,
I like
cool.
I also like Eli Drake.
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't worked with him. I saw him in Impact, but I do like Eli Drake. It's
I'm glad to see
exactly
him finally making a good decision and stop gambling with all of these little weenie things and just get a place that's going to pay you steady money on a contract where you've got a chance to do bigger things. So good for him.
Do you see big things in his future, like main roster eventually, or do you think NXT is like a weight plateau?
I think in NXT for no more than a year.
Okay. Well, there you go. And you know what? With that all said, commercial.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this edition of Unpopular Review. While you're at it, why don't you give us a follow on these beautiful social media platforms known as Facebook and Twitter at Unpopular Review. But there's another one. Give us a follow on Instagram. We got funny pictures, we got updates, and we have things where we tell you everything that's going on. So why don't you give us a follow on Instagram at unpopular.review. And now, back to the show.
Hey, we're back.
We are. All right.
Oh, wow.
So we come back to AEW, and we're going to have a Kenny Omega scene, but this is important because Jim Ross says that we're going to hear from the WWE champion, Kenny Omega. I rewound
that on air?
I didn't mishear it. Didn't mishear it.
He said that on
WWE champion. Yeah. So we get to a scene, obviously pre-taped, Omega with Callis, and I guess it was Michael Nakazawa. I mean, I don't guess they identified him as Michael Nakazawa, but I hadn't seen him. I guess a year in Florida has been good to him. And there were some other people there. I'm not really sure what their function was. I guess one was supposed to be the teacher, but they went up to school, and he's going to share story time. He's reading them his best friend's The Young Bucks book, and the kids ask questions about it like, are they in love? And Kenny Omega's like, it certainly looks like they are. And there's been jokes about that before, how they're sort of like looking at each other's Magic Johnsons. Yeah. And Kenny Omega says, well, they are brothers, so I'm sure families love each other. So yes, I'm sure they do love each other. So you're sort of dancing around it a little bit, but having a little fun with it. Anyway, obviously this segment goes bad. And Don Callis says, okay, time for us to go. We're going to leave you here with Nakazawa. And the kids are going, AEW, AEW. Somebody at this point texts me, were they chanting Cena? And I didn't hear it. So I chose not to rewind this part to see if they did that. But then they go, Nakazawa sucks. No, we hate Nakazawa. We hate, and basically the kids do a pile on Nakazawa, and Callis and Omega leave Nakazawa in that predicament. We come back, we hear JR makes up some reason to mention that Kenny Omega is the AEW champion. The context doesn't matter. Damage was done. I guess we'll find out tomorrow how much they value old JR being there.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to note that when he was reading from the book, he's made. I don't know if this actually says it in the book, but he was like, Kenny Omega was the main reason for New Japan's rise in business. And
No,
then
I think
right
he
after he said that, that's when Callis goes, "Oh, we have no more time to read anything else."
Oh,
And they did a Kenny chant too, like Kenny. And
yeah,
then
there was Kenny,
Full
not
Metal
Cena, right?
Nakazawa got a "We Hate Nakazawa"
Yeah,
chant.
they said something about
That's
business
hilarious.
picked up. Business got better after Kenny Omega won. Something like that. But that's right, and that's when Callis cut it off. So yeah, I guess the inference is that he's the one holding the door open, and Kenny's basically he's more at risk of booping it up than anything else. We get back to Santana Ortiz with the Inner Circle. Santana Ortiz have their own music. I don't think it's the music they've used before.
Nope.
I can't swear to
They
it.
came out to the Inner Circle music, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think it was their individual music. And then the Bucks came out. They did their pose. Pointed out that the Bucks' parents were there and they were celebrating their 40th anniversary of being married. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but Dory Funk Jr. was in the audience as well with his wife.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Terry Funk Jr. is reportedly not in the greatest of health. So thoughts to him. Good to see Dory Funk there. We see Kenny and his crew watching the match from backstage on a TV. The commentary makes comments about how they were looking at it, sort of making fun of how WWE superstars watch TV from the back, sort of at an angle and crooked, and they were sort of doing the same thing here as well. Anyway, this was a pretty decent back and forth match. I have to tell you that it felt like it wasn't very physical, like they weren't hitting each other. It felt like dancing for the first half, but the second half they picked it up. They started getting more physical. Ortiz had a submission hold on. I don't think I've seen it before, and he kept it on for a while. One of the Bucks reversed it, but Ortiz reversed it again. And then Matt Jackson hit what they call a savage elbow off the top rope to break up the submission. They trade finishers with near falls. You had the super kicks. You had the Santana Ortiz's finishing move. Basically, there was an inside cradle, and the Bucks won. The Inner Circle immediately came into the ring to attack. Kenny and crew were outside looking at it, and they were very slow to react. It took Kenny about 10 or 15 seconds to say, "Hey, we got to do something. We got to help them." And Cal's like, "No. You just stay here. You just stay." And then he whispers something to the Good Brothers, basically, "You guys go take care of it." So the Inner Circle's laying the beat down on the Good Brothers. Probably about 5 or 6 seconds later, sort of slowly saunter out and walk in, and as if this was coordinated, the Inner Circle, all 6 of them, exit when the 2 Good Brothers enter the ring. That was sort of it. There's a little bit of taunting going on. I noticed that Papa Buck looked a little bit like a thin Steven Seagal. He shoved Jericho. Obviously there's going to be a gimmick match, and I guess Papa Buck is going to get a payday too out of this.
Oh, no.
And then, of course, we have Cody come out with Brandy and all the pomp and circumstance, and it's a girl. The gender announce is up there. Is the word gender still allowed?
Naturally.
Yeah.
No, it's still
okay. Yeah. So there we go.
Also, poor Brandon Cutler ran out there, but he's one guy and he's Brandon Cutler. So, and this is for the end of the last segment. So he gets absolutely just like
destroyed.
You're one guy and you're Brandon Cutler. So yeah, he got pummeled. That was pretty fun to see.
Because he's in a match with someone next week, 1-on-1.
He is. I don't remember who, but they did announce that.
Yeah, that Hager. I think it's with Jake Hager.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, that next week is. I think they're filling it up to be. I don't know. I mean, they're leading to this March 3rd and then the March 7th Revolution, so they're having those sort of as 2 super cards. So
they're having a special card on March 3rd.
Yeah. Well, next week is the 24th, which is what's throwing me off a little bit. But I guess next week will be a regular Dynamite. So,
they tend to announce cards in general anyway. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're going to be tortured with a Brandon Cutler match. So.
Yeah. Well, I imagine it won't last very long. But hey, everyone gets paid. So
There you
this
go.
probably seems like a good time to go to NXT and see what's going on there.
So we have a promo from Kushida, not even a promo, but they show him backstage. They show that he's still healing or still feeling the effects from his match with Johnny Gargano. He's being iced up. Bronson Reed gives him praise and say, "Hey, you had a really good match. But I want a shot at that NXT North American Championship too. And if it comes down to, between me and you, I'm gonna, bet. Good luck to the better man." Hopefully, I say his whole name right because I see him occasionally. But Michael Bivens,
Hopefully you
was it
don't.
Huh?
Hopefully you don't.
Oh, Michael. Okay, Malcolm Bivens. He was out there. He was
That's the
backstage.
name you were having trouble with?
I just don't remember his name. That's what I was like. I just don't remember his name. I know it's Malcolm, but I'm like, is it Bivens or something like that?
It's
But
like
he's
Michael Bivens.
yeah, he's just he's in the same training room as Kushida. He sees that he's getting iced up, and he says, "Oh, hey, I see you're not feeling well, but I see that you're clear." Because one of the doctors said, "Yeah, he's clear to fight." And he said, "Oh, okay, cool. I have a match for you later tonight, which is going to lead into a match between him and Taylor Rust. Um, Isaiah Scott versus Leon Ruff. At first, I said, oh, okay, this is gonna be a highlight because Leon Ruff, I mean, he's been picking up these surprise wins, but he's been getting those surprise sneaky wins. But most of the time he lose. I've said they're 1, 2, 3 kid, but he gets the surprise winner over Isaiah Scott, who his beef with Leon Ruff is, well, I have to climb and crawl to go and earn what I have to get. You're just handed stuff. So throughout the whole match, he's toying with him. He's showing because Leon Ruff, he Leon Ruff is everything I was at 18. So he's throwing him around. He's just overpowering him. Leon Ruff is showing his speed and his quickness, his speed and his awareness in the ring, and pulls up the surprise win. When Isaiah goes to shake his hand, he just smacks the dust out of him and beats him up so bad. There's a spot I did not take the note, but he just threw him in the corner so badly, so badly that after the thing when the camera zoomed in, you just see nothing but spit coming out of Leon Ruff's mouth. So there was that. That was kind of nasty. So then we get a women tag team match. We got Casey and Kaden against Aaliyah and Jesse. I almost said Jesse Duke, but Jesse, I forget her last name. I think it's like Kaden. I forget her last name, but Jesse K, and which because they showed from the following week when they had that confrontation with Xia Li and her crew. So now they have this match, which is setting up something for next week. So as the match is progressing, you have Boa standing right there, and it catches Casey and Caden's attention. But they get the win. They beat Aaliyah and Jesse. They win it with a neckbreaker frog splash combo, so they get the win. It was a really cool. It reminded me of the Motor Machine Guns from 2010, 2009 with the neckbreaker crossbody. So they're really gelling very well as a team. Casey's just she's so small. Like I see her run around. She's just a very small, but she's just not crisp. Like she have a lot of flashy moves, but a lot of moves are not it's not fluid. It's not connect. So it's kind of noticeable, but it's not really about the match. It's about the segment. Xia Li confronts both Casey and Kaden. Casey says, no, I got this. She said, hey, what's going on, dude? This is not the person we remembered. What's going on? What's happening? And then Xia Li grabs her arm, and I think she smears blood. It's not blood, it's paint, but it like cross her fingers and says, next week you'll learn, you'll pay. So yeah, I figured you would like this stuff too. You like because you watch Kung Fu. That's stuff from Kung Fu movies, right? When they rub the blood on the hand. Okay, cool. There you go.
Xia yeah.
So yeah, Xia Li is going to kill Casey next week. So that should be intriguing. Which goes into another segment, but I think I've talked enough. I mean, I want to hear more about this. Oh my God, this guy. Like I said, you're the butter man. You just know how to butter someone up. I'm
I
pretty
can't
sure when
watch,
you make
I can't wait to watch NXT tomorrow just to see what Zealy does, what Xylee does.
Xia Li, I can't wait to see when they start because I feel like they're definitely grooming her. Not to say she's winning the women's championship, but she's definitely got to get in there at some point. She definitely got to get in there. But I guess to me it depends on the road on who's the champion and where they place her. Because right now she's a heel, right? So I'm saying, well, right now I see the next
Heel?
match. You don't think she's a heel?
She's my hero.
No. Of course she is. Of course she is.
He's evil though. It doesn't count.
Yeah, no, it's just, right, absolutely. But I guess I need to see the lineup on how everything keeps going.
Without any evil, there can be no justice.
Well, goddamn. Well, goddamn.
You must have chaos out of order.
Oh my God.
Well,
I'm sorry, Mike. That was just a lot. Oh, he's an ROH. Okay.
Well, Stokely Hathaway as well.
There you go.
All right, so we are back in AEW. It's FTR without Tully, who's stuck in San Antonio. I mentioned that earlier. With the Seidel's, Matt and Mike. Didn't even know there was a Mike. Apparently, he spends most of his time in Dragon Gate. They talk about Dragon Gate a lot. They talk about that Dragon Gate style. Apparently, the Dragon Gate style is just throwing your leg up however you want and calling it a kick. So that's what I get. No issue.
No issue. I just wanted to say you all good.
Apologize.
Don't apologize.
We don't read that much anyway, so we would just fake it. So no issue. FTR is coming off their 2-week suspension for all their shenanigans when they cut off Luchasaurus's horns. Mike Seidel, if he wasn't drunk, he might have an inner ear infection. Anyway, after a match that went much longer than it should have, FTR hits the big rig for the 3 count. At that point, the Doc Samson comes out. He's going to give medical attention to whichever Seidel is, out for the count. FTR interrupts that. They take away his medical bag. They go for the scissor. They're going to cut off. Oh, it's Mike. They're going to see the long hair. They're going to cut Mike's hair, and the lights go out, and then we see just the silhouette of Luchasaurus and his mask on the ground, but it's on the screen ground. So you think he's going to come, without a mask. And that's going to be the big reveal, and it's just going to be Luchasaurus. But no, the lights come back on, and it's all 3 members of Jurassic Express, and Luchasaurus has a new mask with his horns all grown back, or the same mask. Maybe his horns just grew back. Maybe he just regenerated like a crocodile can regenerate its tail. They lay out FTR, and so this issue is very much far from settled. I want to point out here, which I touched on earlier, that March 3rd is a fairly loaded show. But one of the things that they also seem to be advertising, and I'm not clear, it really shouldn't be for March 3rd because Cody's in a match with Shaq, so it must be Revolution, that there is some sort of ladder match to get a title shot, and Cody is in it. So, is this a way around he's never can get a title match again? Why is he in the match if he can't get a title match? So these are questions that we have some time to explore, but I just wanted to point that out. But it must be for Revolution. I did not note who the other 2 were because we have at least 1 or 2 weeks to figure all of this out. But I did take note of that, and maybe the UPR universe can tell me if this is just a way around it, if that's what I'm supposed to think as a swerve.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, but what's the logic in putting him in the match if he's
for the
banned?
AEW title, not the TNT title, right?
I thought it was the AEW World title. I don't think it was
the World
the
Heavyweight
TNT
title you can't go for. Yeah, World Heavyweight title you can't go for.
I know he can't go for the AEW title. I mean the 6-way ladder match.
No,
for contendership for the
number 1 contender for the AEW World title, but I have to double check on that too. Or I'm not going to double check.
Hold on. Here we go.
See, it is for the TNT title.
Good job, Derek. That's our 4th co-host. Good job.
Good. Listen, I had 2.5 weeks to get it right, but
there we go. That's all you needed.
I had it as TNT title, and then I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's fine. If it's for a TNT title, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
I do want to see him get out of that AEW title pigeonhole, though.
Well, they have to. I mean, it's silly. He's their biggest star.
Well, it's not silly. I know why they did it. but it was a silly way to go about doing what they wanted to do. I mean, I think it's exactly what Cody said. People think that I'm gonna Jeff Jarrett this shit, so I might as well just make it so that I can't even like go for the title. But I'm like, people are gonna say that regardless of what you do, so it really doesn't matter.
I just got notice that apparently Kyle O'Reilly suffered a seizure after NXT went off the air, a shoot seizure.
Ooh.
And we're being told that it's legit. I mean, it doesn't necessarily, it might not be, but that's the news that's just breaking. So don't take it as being confirmed. But that just came out as an alert.
Wow.
So I guess we'll find out more tomorrow.
man.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, especially since he's probably in the most successful position he's been in. It's all right. No, I agree with you, Tamara. I know why Cody did it too, though he's taken every opportunity to give himself the biggest entrance and the pomp and circumstance and be around it. So he's sort of done it and not done it. But this would have been a dopey way to get around the world title ban too.
Just to be clear, by the way, you were completely wrong about the match. The FTR Seidel brothers match was actually very enjoyable, and I thought that Mike Seidel actually had a standout performance, and I thought that he had you. I mean, you say it was hokey. I thought it was very unique, the way he worked the style, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and it was kind of fast paced. Like FTR really offset, I guess, the more high flying style of the Seidel brothers, and they had good chemistry in the ring. I thought it was fun. I really don't see. Well, I guess I could see how you wouldn't like it, but I mean, it was like they were. I don't really see anything bad about this. Also, the ending with Jurassic Express coming out. They do the lights out gimmick a lot. But I thought it worked here because you wanted the mystery of, oh, is he going to wear the mask? Is he going to be maskless? What about his horns? So I thought it worked here. But originally, I went lights out again. But then I ate my words because it was cool.
Well, I wanted to see Luchasaurus without the mask and solo. I wanted him to get his solo revenge on it. I didn't want to see the whole Jurassic Express. I mean, the image on the screen didn't make sense. As far as the match is concerned, I mean, that's your opinion versus mine. There's no need to get into that any more than I just think that when you clearly know who's going to win, and it's basically a superstars or main event or a dark match, it doesn't need to be that long. I mean, Orange Cassidy shouldn't be the only one that gets a squash. The best tag team in the company should be able to get a squash against Matt Seidel and his brother Mike, who's never wrestled in AEW before.
Do they want to bury Matt Seidel though?
He's there to lose. He's not there to
Has
win.
has he ever? I'm sorry, because I haven't been following him, but has he ever got like a win or anything over there since being with AEW? Oh, he has.
Yeah,
Every time
I think once in a tag match. I think he might have been Cody's partner.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's got a single. His debut, which not the Rumble, because I think he debuted in the Rumble, but
he did in the Battle Royal.
He won, I think. Yeah, exactly.
He's won some matches on Dark. I'm pretty sure about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. It's just every time I've ever seen him. That's why I asked. I wasn't even trying to be funny. Yeah. Well,
he's losing a lot. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, he should. He's a 40-year-old journeyman. He's there to help train. He's there to enhance. And I think he actually has a trainer role as well.
Okay.
We get
cool.
Moxley promo where basically he's talking to Eddie Kingston. I'm going to whoop your ass again, Eddie. You don't know it, but I'm like the only one here that still even cares a little bit about you. But I'm over that now. And then he proceeds to promote the match with Kenta, January 26th. New Japan Strong from the LA dojo. So. And then he's going to kick all of you and come back for his AEW championship, which I guess could mean he just meant the new elite, or maybe he meant all of the Bullet Club, which is what I thought it was, because Kenta and Omega and the Good Brothers sort of in that Bullet Club thing. But it was vague. It could mean either. Either way works. Right. So this was fine. Nothing wrong with that. Then it was main event time, but I'm pretty sure there was a commercial before the main event. So let's go back to NXT, unless Tamara is going to correct my mistakes and omissions.
Only mistake is that
here we go.
We're not kicking it to Bad Guy Champ.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Bad Guy Champ.
There we go. What a sweetheart. So I got a lot catching up to do. So let me catch up with the. There we go. See, that's good because like sometimes. Oh, there we go. See, that's because sometimes I put my hand. I'm pointing the wrong way. I do like this, and then I'll do like this, and I'm like, oh, and then you do like that. I'm like, oh, I got it. So
You
cool.
go all the way around the rainbow.
I
So
know.
you
Yeah, I
can
just do like
make
that to try to. But
You have to think about it like you're in Australia.
yeah, it's backwards, right? Like.
You're upside down and counterclockwise.
There we go. There we go. And I'm just getting dizzy just thinking about it.
Cranky.
But yeah. So we have the Dusty Classic winners. They come out. So that's why I wanted to ask you guys, like, was March 3rd going to be a packed show? Because it seemed like on March 3rd of NXT, they're going to make it a packed show as well. Because the winners from the Dusty Classic, MSK, they made it clear they're going to go for the tag titles against Oni Loken and Danny Burch. So they're going to go for the NXT championship, which lead out next is the women's tag, the women of the Dusty Rhodes Classic. They come out. So Dakota Kai and Gonzalez comes out, and they celebrate their win. They're happy. They're making it like, yeah, we're gonna March 3rd. We're gonna go for the women's tag team championship, and Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax comes out, and they said, look at these guys. They won. These guys won. They don't realize that this is gonna be pretty much their doomsday. We're gonna beat them, and Dakota Kai gets into their face and tells Gonzalez like, "Hey, these were the you wasn't here when they were around, but introduced them." And she gets into Shayna. She gets to because you remember they had that history with I don't remember what Nia Jax and Dakota Kai, but I remember Shayna and Dakota and how Shayna used to bully her. So they referenced that a little bit, which I liked. I like how they mentioned that history. And, you have Shayna sitting there say, "You still that same little girl from a few years ago," and she said, "No, I have changed." So it seemed like I think the concern was a lot about this being a matchup is that they're both heel tag team, but they came the team of Dakota and Gonzalez came off more babyface than Shayna and Nia, which I mean it's not really hard to do. And I guess also too you have these two who are coming from another brand onto the NXT brand. So a lot of times when stuff like that has happened, like I remember last year when Bianca and Rhea was having a feud, and then Charlotte came in, it almost and I remember Bianca was the heel, but it changed when Charlotte came in. So I guess it also comes from these girls are NXT girls, and these girls who were NXT girls are now main roster girls. I'm excited about the match. I think it's gonna be fun. They do make the whole reference. Haha. I'm just about I'm just about tired of it. It's becoming a wet Cheerio joke to me. So they're hyping that up for March 3rd. I thought the segment what was funny about this segment was MSK and I forgot to say who introduced them to come to Beth Phoenix. She introduced everyone to come to the ring. And as they're having this, all these women having a standoff, you have MSK in the corner and Beth Phoenix with popcorn eating because they're just eating this up like, oh, what's going to happen? I thought that was really entertaining. So you got that for March 3rd. We have a match with Tyler Rust against Kushida. It was a nice showcase for Tyler Rust. Kushida, the story was he's not 100% for this match, and it was a highlight to show because it was a really competitive match. It wasn't one-sided. I said, oh, okay, Kushida's going to get this win, and he's just going to look strong. But it was still competitive where it looked like Tyler Rust. There was a few spots where I said, oh, he might get the win because it was very competitive back and forth, showing his submissions, I mean, there was a spot where it looked like he was going to tap, but Kushida comes through. He shows his aggression. There's a spot where when he locks in the hoverboard lock, he looks at Malcolm, and as he's turning the arm, he looks at him in the face, and he just turns his arm, and you see, I mean, Tyler was already tapping, but Malcolm comes up, and he cuts because he wants to save his investment. He says, no, just no, you got it, just don't. And you see Tyler Rust, he's upset. He's like, I could have had it. He said, yeah, but no, you're my investment. I got to protect you. I have to do all this. Which lead into, before we get into the main event.
Can we talk about this for a little bit? Because,
sure.
I mean, first of all, this relationship between Rust and Bivens hasn't really been very successful for either of them. And Rust booked himself in the match and then lost. And now Bivens thought he got the upper hand and lost in the match. And, I'm not going to do #fire Malcolm or anything like that. Also, because that's the easy way out, but I'm not taking the easy way out.
Sure.
What I wanted to know was, why is WWE's relationship with managers that they're always leading to failure? They have Billie Kay being basically unwanted and causing losses for everybody she's surrounded with. They have the Robert Stone brand, who no one in the Robert Stone brand ever won anything. All it is comedy fodder of running over Robert Stone's ankles, or whatever the case may be, and nobody there wins, and then they disappear for months. They have a new member, and then that new member loses. And that Malcolm Bivens, who's been with them for a while, it seems like he's been punished ever since, I guess, Indus Share or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember was.
Yeah.
Seems like he's been punished along with them for the acts of one of those guys. And but aside from that brief stint with Indus Share, when they looked like they were going to be their next, Doom
AOP.
or APA or whatever.
Yeah.
Before that and after that, he's generally a failure. So it's like WWE and managers and failure seem to go together.
I don't think it's a coincidence. I think Zelina Vega, when she was managing people, they would win, and then they fired her, and now their managers suck. Coincidence? I think not.
Well, even her teams, they won some, but they lost a lot also. They did lose to, I think, the Street Profits 100 times in a row. Or at least it felt that way. But
her most successful one was
Vega, I think the last successful manager might have been Lana. Say what you want about AEW, but Arn Anderson represents someone who wins. Tully Blanchard represents someone who wins. Jake the Snake Roberts sometimes represents someone that wins. All right, #fire Taz. He's done a shitty job, but not everyone can win.
Paul Heyman represents a winner.
Well, that's good.
Paul Heyman's done great.
Though he's more of a stooge than a manager. He works for Roman, not the other way around. He doesn't manage Roman. Roman manages him.
Well, he manages Brock for sure.
Well, he did. I don't know. Brock lost as much as he won. He just beat people up in the interim. But I don't like MVP, it because I come from a time.
MVP. I'm glad Derek mentioned MVP. But I think his most successful one is Bobby Lashley. I think WWE forgot how to really utilize managers, because managers used to be a really big thing. Like, if you had a manager, and not to say you grew up in the 80s, Evo Dose. So Bobby Heenan, he literally had a stable dedicated to destroying Hulk Hogan. But what was his win percentage like?
I don't know. Against Hulk Hogan, very poor. Against everyone else,
Hogan, yeah. Well, it's not fair. Hogan, not okay. That's not fair. Not Hogan.
Against Hulk Hogan, 0 and 70.
Percentage combined against Hulk Hogan, 0.
Yeah, that's not fair. I didn't mean just Hogan. I meant just in general. I should have been clear.
Oh, but you had teams. Lou Albano managed winning teams. Mr. Fuji managed winning teams, and Yokozuna. The Grand Wizard. You had. Well, all the classy Freddie Blassie managed, people.
Winners.
Lou Albano at one point managed Don Morocco and Iron Mike Sharp at the same time when Iron Mike Sharp was challenging for the Intercontinental belt. So he would manage both sides of the equation. It was, Harley Race managed, Lex Luger and others, James J. Dillon managed the Horsemen. So, Paul, you had like Paul Jones, who managed the #1 Paul Jones Army, all monsters. They destroyed a bunch of goobers. They never did anything, but they were scary. It's like now you see a manager, and it's like you almost are expected to lose. It's lost the mystique.
A very good point, because it's hard for me to think of in a modern era or a more modern era than back then of a manager who managed winners. There's people who won matches, but I feel like being a winner is something different.
Katrina Mil Muertes is and Paul Heyman and Brock are probably the two best examples I can think of in recent past where the manager seemed to have be part of the team.
A direct impact. Yeah.
And I don't like it. I mean, Selena De La Renta in MLW, I think, has that same vibe. But frankly, I've only watched the last 6 MLWs in a row, and I sort of watched. I sort of took a year off, and so I'm not 100% sure with that. Like, there's the manager of Contra, who they seem to have some things going on. I mean, Don Callis and Kenny Omega right now.
That's a good pairing.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
kudos to
Matt
them for bringing
Hardy
that
will
dynamic back. But
get
I
his
wasn't
back
criticizing
in.
other promotions. It seems to be a mostly WWE problem, and it is a problem because managers are good characters and they advance stories and they can sometimes be the story. So I don't know. It was just something that hit me right then and there. And
Right. No, I can understand that. I mean, you hear this and like I said in this match, I mean, I didn't go move by move, but in this match, you would think that especially if he was still trying to take advantage of Kushida. I mean, but he didn't do anything. He just pretty much just taunted and he tried to just protect his his man. He tried to protect him and said, no, come on, let's just get out of here instead of just doing anything to help him. But I don't know, man. I do. There's 2 segments because y'all at the main event, so I just want to get these 2 segments out. But someone wanted to mention this. Victor wanted me to make sure, dude, you forgot the best part when Gonzalez told Nia she's gonna put the Dusty Road boot and stick it straight up her hole. So he wanted to get that out there. Thank you for that, Victor.
he missed the part where you said that was like a wet Cheerio joke, and I don't think you missed it. I think you purposely omitted it. But okay, listen, the audience is important, and we want to respect their wishes and comments. And yes, Mr. Mitchell, as usual, has a great point and is my seems like my personal fact checker at times. So excellent.
He just has a piece of paper. Every time you say something, he just checks it.
I just hope he has disposable income so that when he becomes a top Patreon, he can be a guest host. And
he would be great. I would love to just like shoot the shit with this guy because this guy just knows his stuff.
Sure.
There was actually a Cameron Grimes music video. I think it's the same one from on Sunday.
Huh? If it was, that was great. That was.
Yeah, it was some. He had money, and for whatever reason, there's a spot where he's in like a bikini, not bikini. I'm sorry, he's in his like underwears or something. I don't know what's going on. I didn't know what was going on. I had to look at the water to see what was in the water because I'm drinking water. I was trying to figure out what was I watching. But Cameron Grimes. It's he's saying it's not water. Cam to the moon. Yeah, this guy is he crashed his car and just said I'll buy another one. I said, wow, check this guy. So it must have been the same one.
He crashed the Lamborghini?
Yeah, he crashed and just said I'm gonna buy another one. just crashed it. I don't know. And then before the main event, because then you guys could take over and then I'll take over Lashley. I said Lashley. I don't know. I think I'm thinking about Bobby Lashley.
You try and take over Lashley. See what happens.
No, I've seen what I've seen this man's biceps. It's like 3 of me. You have Zoe Starks. I guess she debuted in the Mae Classic, the Dusty Rhodes Classic, but she's having a singles match. There was a LA Knight video. He does his stuff.
Did there used to be sneakers called BK Nights or British Nights?
It could have been. I mean, it might have been. It's been a long time. I'm not sure. Maybe that seems like a Google. Could someone Google that for us?
No, Derek knows. Don't worry. He'll put his comment will come up soon. Don't worry. We can move on.
But LA Knight, he talking about he's the hottest free agent. And I do see the stuff where they talk about The Rock. Like, could I do grab The Rock? I never grabbed. You said Flair. I didn't grab that, but I do grab.
Look
Rock.
at his eyes. Look at his eyes. He's got the eye. His eyes, the way he stares in his eyebrows is Flair.
Okay.
He doesn't have the cadence of Flair, but his
yeah.
If you just focus on his eyes, you'll see it.
But he talks about he's a free agent. He's no longer the hottest free agent, and he's going for the NXT. He's telling all champions be aware because he's going for them. He's gunning for them. So
even
then you
cruiserweight?
have even cruiserweight.
Even though
he's going for the cruiserweight too. He said everyone keep their eyes open. But no, not really. But we have this match. It's Zoe Starks against. All I got was Valentine. I didn't get her whole name. But this match was really, and I said she was the She-Hulk because, I mean, unless the girl was just very small, this Zoe looked kind of big, kind of jacked. and she was tossing this poor girl, just savage. I mean, her stuff was just really stiff. There was a spot where she did this knee, where she did this sliding knee. Oh, look, there you go. Look, boom, British
British
Knights, and
Knights.
there you go.
See, BK knows British Knights.
There you go. He's so
White Castle
yeah, you
fries
went
only
a-
come in one size.
Product placement. Product placement.
There you go. That's what I was gonna say. You got a White Castle shirt? Cool.
I do.
Yeah,
I have
no,
two,
White Castle. Oh, there you go. Bro, he said, "Yeah, I got two."
I had to cut it here. I had to cut the sleeves off. It's basically like that shirt Austin Theory was in at this point. It's like it's like
Oh,
I don't know how it got so small.
yeah, man, I never know how anything like that happened.
I don't know how the shirt got that small. That's weird.
Yeah, you sometimes just sit and say, "Huh." I don't know. It's the
And
shirt's
the
fault.
dryer.
Yeah, it's always the dryer's fault. The dryer's a jerk. But yeah, she beats this girl. She beats her with this flipping knee thing. Like she flipped her and then kicked her, kneed her in the head, and then beat this poor girl. She looked like she's gonna be someone they're gonna put a lot of stock into. I don't know much.
They're going to put a lot of Stark into Starks,
They're gonna put a lot of stock into stock. That's right. They're gonna put a lot of iron into stock.
and there's a lot of starch on Stark's blows.
Come on, keep bringing. Come on, keep bringing them. Keep them
The
coming.
more
I don't even know who she is. Was she one of the ones when they signed like
I think she was the same one. She signed around the same time when they signed Kelly.
Priscilla Kelly, and
Yeah,
so she's Elena Black then probably.
she might be blonde haired chick. That's all I
She look a
got.
little bit like Sadie Gibbs, but bulkier.
I can see that. Funny story.
That's
Wade
Elena
Barrett.
Black.
Wade Barrett says she looked like Shakira. They asked him to sing a Shakira song, and he did his best impersonation of a Shakira song. He said,
Well,
and then they said,
I'll be
"Stop."
watching tomorrow, and I'll weigh in on whether or not she looks like Shakira.
Yeah, definitely. And let's lead us into the main event, but you guys first. A before N. And
I just want to say that about a year ago, this time, Jake Roberts surprisingly came back as a manager in AEW and cut fabulous promos for about 3 weeks, and then has been doing basically nothing ever since. And that continues to date. This main event was a 6-man.
Wait, didn't
Yeah.
he quarantine for COVID?
Now he was there. He was there tonight. You didn't notice him because he was just lumbering around for no apparent
No, I
reason.
mean he for a long time stopped coming because of COVID.
Oh yeah, but I mean they could have recorded promos and whatnot, and they had
That's fair.
Lark Archer beating up people in locker rooms. It looked like he was beating up little Boys of Brazil version of Drake Maverick and
That's fair enough. Yeah.
throwing them through stuff. I'm just saying that he gave 3 great promos, and everyone's talking about. You see, this is what wrestling's missing. Just these brilliant promos, and he can just do them any time. And he couldn't do them at any time. He had about 3 weeks of material, and then he sort of ran out of material. Whether that's him or the story ran out of material, I don't know. But the great ones could always, bring the intensity. Anyway, this is Moxley with his partners Phoenix and Lance Archer, who's a face for no apparent reason, against Kingston. And no, we're not doing chamber predictions. This is NXT AEW.
I mean, not now, but eventually. Not now.
Oh, the UPR network will certainly do predictions.
Yes.
Anyway, this started out as a brawl. It broke out, the no rules immediately. This was actually the best. This was the best part of the show, in my opinion. The brawling. There was just one really hideous problem, and that's the bunny decided that she squeaks now, and she was squeaking horribly throughout the whole thing. She was like, I mean, it was odd. This is when I caught Jake lumbering around, and he slowly limped up the steps and sort of like walked off somewhere. Phoenix was the standout in this match. Phoenix was everywhere. The guy is just amazing. At some point, for whatever reason, Lance Archer decided to choke slam Phoenix into a corkscrew into their enemies down on the floor. Now, listen, I know that was a good spot, but there seems to me there could have been a lot of friendlier ways he could have thrown his partner, into an offensive situation against the enemies other than choke slamming him. Sort of abruptly, Mox hits a paradigm shift against Eddie Kingston for the win. I noted at this point that really after Kingston said his promo, he never wanted Phoenix, that he was garbage. He just wanted Penta. I thought that Phoenix really should have gotten the win against Kingston. That would have been justice in that, and especially since he was the workhorse of the match. But of course, that's not really the story. And I noticed that at this point it was 9:57 and 3 minutes left, so you knew that stuff was going to happen. So the Good Brothers came out. They attacked Moxley from behind. Omega came out. You know, they laid a little bit of a beat down. They were holding Moxley by each arm, and Omega says, you know, I got my my belated Valentine's Day gift from Tony Khan. It's a contract with a rematch clause, just like you wanted. Yes, it was snuck in there. And yes, you can have your rematch at Revolution, but I get to pick the stipulation, and I'm picking an exploding barbed wire death match, which seems to me to be the stipulation that Moxley would pick against Omega, not the other way around. But I guess they figured that since they're going to apply more beatdowns now and into the future, that they'll, you know, I guess they haven't been watching wrestling because that never works, or very rarely does. But they did a couple of V triggers and some more beatdown on Moxley, and the show went off the air with that.
Well, here's the thing. That does sound like something that Moxley would pick, but I think the goal here is to show that Kenny Omega, because when they first did the death match type stipulation, the unsanctioned match they had, it was very brutal, and Omega got the loss. I think what he's trying to say now is not only can I beat you now, because he did, I'm just as, if not more, brutal than you. So I think he's trying to, especially as a heel, he's trying to commandeer that. He's like, not only, you know, am I not scared of you, I'll beat you at your own game. Like, I really don't care. So I think this is just Omega having a chip on his shoulder.
Like you say, like mind games with Moxley, even like just saying like whatever you can do, I could do better. I could do just as better. And he also, like you say, he lost that lights out match. So it's almost like trying to not recreate.
He can win on any terms, but it still seems strange for him to pick that stipulation. But
yeah,
what are the rules in an exploding barbed wire match?
So the rules are that when the barbed wire explodes and you die, the person who did not die wins.
Huh.
Wait, someone's gonna die?
I just made that up.
Simple enough.
I was gonna say, oh my god!
It's exploding barbed wire death.
Where's
match.
Derek when I need him?
When I heard death match, I'm
Right
like, yeah,
Derek,
yeah.
you needed here.
Derek,
Yeah, we
why
covered
did you
that
remind?
Yes, no, it was pointed out
about an hour
earlier.
ago. And Victor, I agree with you. We're all waiting for Taya to debut.
The only thing that would be worse than that is if the announcer, when he does the John Moxley, he accidentally goes Cena.
Oh my god! Sometimes I'm
that's
waiting for him to do that when he goes,
Me too.
yeah, and I'm like, and then you know, just Moxley.
I'm like,
You know,
say it.
Yeah. Yeah, so pretty much in the stipulation is a no disqualification. Light bulb exploding. I mean, I'm not too familiar with any of these things. It just it literally sound like that stuff like in the early 2000s or mid 2000 backyard wrestlers where they like did these crazy things. I know there's gonna be light bulbs, but I'm saying, do they explode? Is it gonna be like one of those like Michael Bay movies where stuff just start collapsing and everything blows up? I don't know.
No, these are just fancy names for no DQ matches, truthfully.
Yeah,
but
that's
they
pretty much what it is.
tend to play out. Like they do tend to have an impact on how the match plays out. So we're also going to get. I see what you did there. We're going to get some kind of barbed wire there. Clearly.
He chuckled at his joke. I like that. He laughed at it. He was so pleased with the impact, and then he started chuckling. I love it.
Yeah, you started chuckling. I said, I'm not even going to give you the satisfaction now because you laughed yourself.
So that's the best one, though, when you make a joke and you laugh. Like, even if no one else laughs, you're like, nah, don't laugh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm Kevin Hart, yeah.
He said that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, AEW sound like, okay, here we go. This one, Death C4 will explode in the ring. Do you remember the Inferno match where the pyro would just shoot up during? I guess during, like, if they got slammed, it would be like that, you know, like the fire.
So it's going to be like capture the flag, and when you capture the flag, the pyro wire.
We're just making it up as we go, aren't we?
Well, that's what I just made up, so we'll go with that. I don't know when you explain. I hope it's not a claymore, because if it's a claymore, the Chase will come out and they you need to make sure that it's facing the right direction, or you blow up yourself.
Like you got to jump strategically over mines to get to the barbed wire.
This match sounds wild.
So this is like a Balkan minefield death match.
And listen, they've had
This-
2 matches in this style before. So if this is supposed to be like the culmination of that, like I'm thinking these two, they really about to kill each other in the ring. Like, geez.
This sounds like one of those like Bugs Bunny cartoons, and like someone just gets blown up. That's not Bugs Bunny. I don't know what's going on here, but I say an
Do you
actually.
think it'll be cinematic?
No, this one I don't. This one I
I
don't.
don't either.
No, I don't think so. I think the Sting match, which almost sound like it don't even have to be cinematic, but I guess because he took a bump, and I'm kind of I'm impressed by that.
Let's not get carried away. He took one bump.
Right.
That match will most definitely be
Fair
cinematic.
enough.
A hell of a
Oh,
bump.
look, here we go. Just a bad gimmick match from back in FMW. I've heard of CZW.
CZW,
Wait.
yeah.
So is Derek trying to say that it's just another bad idea from stupid creative?
Yeah, it sounds really excessive. It sounds like a match. Like I understand they had to have like a big match, but it just sounds. I don't know.
I think it's supposed to sound like that.
What odd?
It's supposed to sound like it's about to be a bit much.
I might.
Like if someone says we're gonna have an exploding barbed wire death match. That's something that like a kid would say. But like
I
like,
was
what
saying
does
that.
even
I kid you
mean?
not. At 6, I was saying that. Yeah.
Well, Kenny just came from
It's
the
like, what does
preschool,
that
so
even
maybe
mean?
it did suggest it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe ask those kids.
Negative one came up with it.
No, he asked
Mr.
those
Moxley
kids.
is a bad man. How do you think I should defeat him at AEW
Yeah, he asked
Revolution
those
on
kids.
March 7th, only on
He asked those-
pay-per-view?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Mr. Kenny Omega, I think that you should do a lights out match. Already did it. Unsanctioned. Already did it. Straight up pure style. Not my style. Joshi. Ooh, sounds good, but I don't think he can work that style. How about exploding barbed wire? Ooh, that's awesome. With a Stegosaurus as a referee. Okay, kid. Slow your roll.
Yeah, look, we're trying to work match. We'll see what we can do there.
It's like I'm in the mind of a child.
Yeah, it's like what even
Or have a
is
child's
that?
mind.
But I guess we're gonna find. You know what? To be fair, I'm interested to find out what even is that. So I guess it worked.
Okay. You seem pretty authoritative when you explain that. So, there's still more of NXT, isn't there?
No, there's just this main event right here. This main event.
It's only the main event.
It's only the main event, and
Mm.
let me set the mood. Boom. Hopefully, you guys can still see
yeah.
this. I like to do this.
How come your water is glowing in the dark?
What water? I have no water.
Exactly.
What?
Exactly. What water?
There ain't no water here. I drunk my water.
Mhm. Water.
I'll have you know I only had an angry ostrich today. That's the only thing I had, and that's nothing. So
you had the whole orchard. You had the whole orchard.
I had the whole ostrich. That's right. I had the whole. That's how I got home from work today. So we have Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch against the Undisputed Era, which is Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor. Finn is the first one to come out. Undisputed come out, but when you have Roderick come out, when he's coming out, he does the pose and everything. But Kyle don't want to have anything to do with any of that stuff. He just don't know who to trust. He's walking to the ring. They had the Undisputed Era had a dispute earlier in the day, and or early in the night, because this was night, not day. Wow. So the match starts off. It's some stiff stuff. It's very stiff. You have they point out Oni got fined on Sunday for pushing a ref. So they already, like I said, Undisputed Era, they already having problems. The first few tags that they have, Finn and Kyle tagging each other, and they're not even trying to bring in Roddy. Roddy would eventually tags himself in, and he started going to work on everybody in the ring. Eventually it's a back and forth match. Like I said, stiff stuff. Pete Dunne does his he does his signature finger stomps, breaking the fingers. So the point is, we get to the point of where we have a ref bump. One of the guys were trying to come in the ring with the belt. He's trying to get in the ring, and you see the ref trying to snatch it. Finn drop kicks one of the dude into the ref, so now the ref is down. Finn doesn't care. He goes like, "Bong! I'm gonna get this win." So he climbs up to the turnbuckle. He's gonna hit his finishing his double stomp. Then we have Adam Cole comes out. He just shoves him down, and then he eyeballs. Oh, excuse me. He eyeballs Kyle O'Reilly, and he hits him with it looked like he was going for a brain buster, but it was turned into a suplex. So he hit him on the steel steps. Because early in the match, you have Oni and Birch. They take the I guess they were trying to use it as a weapon, but you can hear them when they throw it, and even the announcer said that was I think everyone can hear that. Because I guess they're trying to speak, but when they made the noise, because sometimes the ref don't pay attention to these things. Like it would be something so loud, and the ref is just like, "Oh, I don't know what's happening." But yeah, he looks around like, "Oh, what happened? Oh, look, my shoe is untied." So like even the ref was like,
legally blind. I cannot see.
"Oh my goodness." Yes, the refs are sometimes the refs are idiots.
Rings are bigger than you think they are.
Huh?
Those rings are a lot bigger than you think they are. Very spacious.
So you just okay. I got you, sir.
Can't hear that far.
He couldn't hear that far, even though the announcers.
In order to be a referee, you can only see in one direction. You can't have any peripheral vision, and you cannot hear more than 3 feet in radius.
So it's like a window.
I've always had the belief of if you wear a ref shirt, it's the ultimate weakness. So if you wear it, if you just get kicked, you have a shattered clavicle or broken knee or something like that. So don't wear the ref shirt. So apparently,
that should be a cartoon TV series like on Cartoon Network, like After Hours. That it's
with the refs.
It's like that he's got to figure out a way to defeat villains, but any contact knocks him unconscious. You can't see anything. Can't hear it. It's like Inspector Gadget. It's like the weakest superhero of all time.
Oh, Inspector Gadget! Oh my God, he was a moron. It was always Penny and the dog. Like I'm sorry, but
I mean, they stole that from Hong Kong Phooey, where the cat did everything.
Oh, I remember Hong
Kong Phooey would just do a karate, kick and fly himself into a closet or out a window or into a file cabinet.
Yeah, he would get stuck, and the cat would. And
you want to hear a true story while we have a few minutes?
Sure.
Okay. I had a friend whose last name was Phooey. It wasn't spelt the same way. It was like Irish. It was like Fahey, but it was pronounced Phooey. He was going for a business trip to China. And so I went online and got him a Hong Kong Phooey shirt. I said, you can keep this shirt, but you have to wear it when you go through customs. And when they say, you here for business and pleasure? You go, business. And they go, yes, thank you. Oh, very good, Mr. Phooey. And he would go, that's Hong Kong Phooey.
Oh, that's so great. Oh, man.
So that was $32 plus shipping and handling, well spent.
There you go. And it put a smile on your face, right?
Commitment to the meme.
Still does. But only I would do something that idiotic.
No, but that was great. I mean, you said you saw an opportunity, and you went for it.
You got somebody with the last name Phooey going to China. It is I, Hong Kong Phooey.
There you go. And I'm pretty sure they laughed too. But
they probably shot him.
Oh my God! What a dark turn this turned out to be.
No, he's still alive. He's still alive. This was many years ago.
Oh, good. Victor wanted to point out unless you're yes, big time shout out. He pointed out unless you're a wrestler as a special guest ref. I'm sorry, that was such a.
Then you're not trained to be a dingbat.
There you go.
And you usually cut the sleeves off. The sleeves is where the real power is. So you're good.
That's what. It's all in the shirt. It's all in the shirt. But you have so Adam takes out Kyle. There's this accidental miscue where Finn hits Roddy with the Pele kick, knocks him out, and Pete Dunne takes advantage, pin him with the bitter end, pins him. So it looked like there's still going to be a thing, but then you see the aftermatch. You see Adam comes out. Kyle is still knocked out, and I missed when he attacked him, but he lays out Finn, and he raises the NXT championship. So I guess he's trying to get in there. I still think the match is going to definitely not even. I know the match is going to be Cal and Adam because it's clear that they even said the era. What it said, the era is over or something like that. So pretty much this is done. So can't wait to see how far this goes. Where Roddy stands, I don't know where Bobby Fish is at.
Doesn't matter.
It,
Local medical facility.
So we got.
He pays by the week now. He's just got week-to-week rates.
So that was NXT. I thought it was a solid show. I mean, they started off strong with the what is going on with the Undisputed Era. I thought it was
consulting there. What is that book that you're flipping around there?
Oh, it's my notes. It's literally my notes. It's just notes. It's just notes, man.
I don't believe
it's
you.
Notes. It's no. We think I have magic spells or something like that. You kidding me? Nah.
I hope so. Now I want nothing more than for you to be a warlock with a book of magic spells.
There you go. Maybe I am, and I just haven't told everybody my.
Well, if you are, I need to have you on Garden of Doom.
Oh man, that would be cool. I gotta listen to one of your episodes of Garden of Doom because I know it's not wrestling, but you guys.
There's only 27 of them, but why listen to one?
There you go. That's a great plug. And hey, we got some more stuff to plug. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was our review on AEW and NXT. We hope you enjoy it, but we have a few other things to hype up. So, obviously, on Wednesday, you can catch our lovely faces on Wednesday. But tomorrow, UPR Entertainment, they're going to be talking about Bebe's Kids. I believe around 9 o'clock. That's when they are going to do it. On Fridays, if we have one, I don't see one. But Fridays you can catch SmackDown. Right after SmackDown is usually some random guest. Some random host, but I don't think we have an exact host yet. On Saturday, what do we have here Saturday? Oh yeah, you can catch us. I'm on the show. WandaVision. I think I'm not too sure if Superior C is going to be on, but me, DeMarc, and maybe C will be on. Sunday, we have the Elimination Chamber right as it goes off the air. We don't know.
Maybe C. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Maybe C. Maybe C. That's you and me.
There you go. See, I could actually join in on that song because I actually knew that. Oh, wait, we do have a Friday one. Friday, boom. I'm sorry, I totally did not see her, but Friday. And then Mondays, you got Monday Night Raw. We got Big Daddy Cool and God, what is this kid's name?
Oh, that's Caden?
No, the other one.
Sanderson, the technician.
Sanderson! Yes, he's going to be on.
Hey, is Decap still part of this operation?
I think so. On a side note, if anyone's interested.
Yes, people are watching it, but not me.
It's on Roku. Sing it, Evil Dose.
Thank you, Elvis.
Don't encourage.
Don't watch on Sunday. Oh my God! But we are. That's what we're gonna do.
No watch along Sunday, I think.
So Monday Night Raw.
Sunday?
Oh, Elimination Chamber.
Oh my God, that's this Sunday.
Yeah, I know. Because we just had a pay-per-view, right? That's why EC thinks I'm gonna be like dropping the title in a few days. I plan on retaining my World Heavyweight Championship. I'm here to irritate people and be on shows.
Well, if you've been listening to the Hammerlock Hangover, you have heard my various rants on WWE television. I don't remember ever being less enchanted with a major show build than this, and I don't know, this obviously I'm not very excited about it. I forgot it was on.
You forgive it because you want to enjoy it, aren't you?
I would like to enjoy it. The one thing they did, that's the Hammerlock Hangover, wherever fine podcasts can be found, and now also a proud member of the Rational Rage Network. The one thing they did is at least The Miz was taken out of it, so he didn't need to be there. Someone with the Money in the Bank case never needs to be in a gimmick match. They should always be an irritant on the outside. I mean, it's just sort of wrestling 101, and Kofi deserved a spot, as did others. I mean, there's others that don't belong in there either. I mean, Jeff Hardy, for one, no business being in there. But whatever. Don't even want Randy Orton. I have no idea why he's in that match. I mean, he's had about 42 title shots in the last 3 days, I feel like.
And I don't know. I think and with that all said, I think we can close up shop. Is there any last words you guys want to say before we cut out?
Oh, if we're doing a watch along on Sunday, I don't know. The executive consultant makes those decisions. If there is, I would assume it would be on a Patreon, but I don't know. If there is, it would certainly make watching it a whole lot easier.
Oh, it'd be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, well, that's the part that would make it easier, the interaction. So, if the fans want it and the boss says so, I mean, I'm watching it anyway, so I'd rather do it with the crew. That's for darn sure.
Oh yeah, because the Royal Rumble was fun when we were all linked up. That was a hell of a good time.
Yeah, that was
Very good.
The snow was
nothing
not
beats
invited,
that.
but it came
No, the
anyway.
snow was not invited. The snow was the snow was not invited.
Yeah, well,
But
neither was
we
temperature.
oh my god. Oh yeah.
It was like 0.
Oh my god. But ladies and gentlemen, we fib you. Said fib you. I do. Thank you. Thank you, Derek. You stay safe as well.
Same
You
here.
guys have a great night. And
personal fact checker. The fact check Derek Mitchell.
That's the fact checker. That's
Direct message Derek Mitchell. DM fact checker.
Direct message him. He gets all these messages and he says, well, why are you here? And then he just evil does someone going, everything's going accordingly. So
everything's going according to plan.
Absolutely. So
Good night.